Okay, cool. Yeah, let's do it like that. Yeah.
But yeah, go.
But I was listening to a podcast and the girl was talking about college versus not going off to college and how she feels like going off to college kind of handicapped her, and she just was behind versus people who didn't go to college or stayed home and went to college. They had work clothes. I mean, they had like multiple clothes for interviews, or they were a little bit more seasoned in what you wear, because when you go, when you're out in the work field, you get more no's. You know what I'm saying? You're young, you're at a young age, you don't really have much education, because at 18 you really don't, even if you're in college. So you're limited to certain positions, and then like you work your way up, you have more experience on your resume versus when you graduate from college, you don't have a lot of work experience, and if you do, it's like internship or like fast food and some shit like that. Right. You know? And so, you know, she was also saying how unfair it is when you don't go to college, how you don't have the same financial opportunities, you know, as far as acquiring a large amount of money. You can get debt, but it's not the same amount. Like, you can get a car, you can get an apartment, because some people, you know, you're 18, you grown and shit like that. You can get all these things, but you're limited, versus if you go to college, you get a refund to go to class, and then you get a refund check. Like, I know a lot of people who get their refund check and go buy like 10 Xboxes.
Yeah, go get some
That's true. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you be like, damn, this nigga clean. He got Versace in this room. Like, this nigga dripping. Like,
I think that is pros and cons on both ends of it.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Of course, that's just how the world we live in, right? It's always pros and cons. But it's like I've definitely have seen in other videos and just other podcasts I've listened to, the main question is college worth it? And, you know, for me, I will say, you know, it's kind of hard to even say, really, because it's like, man, the younger me, you know, if I knew better back then, I probably would have definitely been like, you know, forget this. Let me start on my business plan at 13.
Yeah.
Let me start now. Let me start 13, 16. Let me get my stuff together instead of, okay, let me go to college, accumulate all this debt. But then at the same time, with college, it's an investment, just like business is. That degree is an investment. So, you know, it's really hard for me to say. I mean, I don't know what you think, Uriel. Like,
you know, of course, if I could go back now, I wouldn't go to college. Yeah. Right? But, you know, it is a back and forth. I think if you're going to go to college and you're going to spend money on it, like, go for something that you need college for.
Right. Like,
okay?
Like medical professionals, please go to college.
Oh.
Please go.
Nah. We gonna always make that a requirement.
Right. I'm just saying. I get what you're saying. That makes sense.
Because, I mean, I have a filmmaking degree, and, of course, my degree has allowed me to get the job that I currently have, right? Because I wouldn't have this job. But who knows what else I would be doing right now if I didn't have the degree. But, I mean, filmmaking, go to school for filmmaking, I don't know.
It's like you could have taught yourself the skills without going to college, spending that money. You could have just taught yourself.
Like, YouTube University is lit. So.
It is, though, and exactly. It's just, but sometimes you need that structured environment to kind of point you in the direction of what you should be studying. Because when you're kind of free falling out here, so a lot of your teachings are like trial and error, you know, and just life, you know, stuff just circumstantially happens, and you're like, oh. You know, and then you're forced to do certain things versus going to class and them kind of guiding you and, you know, kind of pointing you in the direction that's going to, like, oh, shit, this is some shit I really did need to know. Like, I may not in the grand scheme of things, like, saying, like, going back to what you just said, like, oh, I got a filmmaking degree, which, you know, it goes either way, but I feel like that helps you. You know, the knowledge you gain. So it's really just about what you do with the investment, you know? Because if you're 20 and you're, like, out here and you don't have a plan, you could blow through that $20,000 just like somebody going to school and dropping out, or, like, not, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Just not doing anything with the investment. Like, if you go to school, you drop out, and you're able to flip your situation, meaning, like, I got all the knowledge I needed. It helped me, once I got out, learn how to take a large amount of money, do this, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. It's really just about the person and what you can do with your resources.
Facts.
If you know how to flip your resources, you'll be good in school. A lot of kids who thought, I graduate, I got this, I was this person in college,
I should be successful by now.
Sum cum laude. It does not happen like that. You gotta move your shit. You gotta move the weight. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta create your own resume. I mean, all of us can attest to that. After 2 a.m., we have different skills that we have to hone in on to even make this business work. You know what I'm saying? So I think it does depend on it's just a really hard call. It depends on the individual. Some individuals, I truly understand when people say college wasn't for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? They getting a $200,000 salary somehow because they worked themselves up. I've seen that too. Mm-hmm. So it just kind of,
Yeah, it just depends on the person. It's really just the person. I can't say, no, this isn't for, you shouldn't go to college. You know, I can't say, because some people thrive in structured environments. You know what I'm saying? And some people are just not able to, like really understand, like they need a different type of learning.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people go back and forth. Like I know that a new thing that I learned about was kids don't have to turn in homework in a lot of places. Like they don't, if you turn in homework, you get a grade. If you don't get a grade.
So they don't turn in homework now?
It's not a requirement. Like you turn it in, you get a grade. You don't turn it in, it's not a 0.
Oh, I heard something about that.
Yeah, they actually fired a lady in Florida for
I heard about that.
Giving the kids grades, and it's just like they're saying that it takes away from a lot of like fundamental like learning that you can get at home, which is just like experiences in life and shit. You get like life experiences at home, but they're saying like if you're at home studying and like doing homework all the time, you miss a lot of stuff.
I can see that point.
But I mean, I think that homework was helpful. I think that it made me go out and think on my own, like outside of that. Like you're doing an assignment, I'm gonna introduce somebody to you, and then you go like you introduce Edgar Allan Poe, and then you're like, go research a poet.
Yeah.
So now I get a little bit of information about poetry. I probably wouldn't have done that on my own.
True.
It's just like with college, you know, they make you take these courses that you're like, this thing got shit to do with what I want to do, but it gives you another class where you can talk to people that you might have not fucked with had you not, took that class. So now you might be a different major than me, but now have a connection. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I think it's all relative. I think that college is been a successful tool, and people have been able to make it outside of not going to college. It's just about the type of person you are. It's
the drive you have.
But I do think you should allow, if you're going to allow one 18-year-old to get a $20,000 loan, you should allow, you know what I'm saying? It should be a different process for kids who don't go to college. It's kind of looked at as like, you don't really you're not ambitious, or you don't really want anything out of life. But I mean, just some kids, they don't have those opportunities.
True. Yeah. Or it's just not for them.
Yeah,
I mean, how many millionaires have we heard of dropped out of these Ivy League universities?
Yeah, it's a lot of them.
And that's
two of the most, like, the richest men alive are at one time. Yeah,
exactly.
So
that's crazy.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's really just about what you can do. And
what you want to do. Devise a plan. Come up with a plan and just go full force with it.
Yeah, that's what I tell kids. Like, it's not like I go to schools and shit. No, but anybody that's like 18 and like, you know how people be like, what you going to do next year? Like, they already assume that you're going to college. So I feel like it's something that's forced on you, and it's kind of a scare tactic, because it's like, if you don't go to college, that's it.
Yeah, and you should never be ashamed of not going to college, or, like really, because it's going to be your debt. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When you go to college. So just really make sure when you go, you really do know what you want to do. If that changes, change that shit in the middle. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just really just be aware of the full investment that is going into college.
Protect your neck, dog.
No,
Protect your investment.
No, for really, like, if you got parents, like, sit down with your parents and, like, look over that shit and be like, okay, in 4 years, I'm expecting this amount of debt. You know what I'm saying? Like, be ready. Be ready for that shit, because it's crazy out here, y'all.
It's real life.
It's
real
crazy
life
out
here.
here.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
But for sure, I mean, let us know what you all think. Is college worth it? Tell us some of your experiences. We definitely love to hear that. And of course, always subscribe to our YouTube channel. Show us some love. We definitely would love to have you part of the family as always. And that's what it is.
All right, peace, y'all.